Hello, everyone. I am Queen Lillie. Welcome to my live. Today we are discussing Donald Trump. Donald Trump and the Epstein files, the files that we will not stop talking about, the files that Donald Trump wish everybody would just shut up and do not mention. Well, we're going to talk about it. We're not going to stop talking about it, Donnie, because you want the American people to. It's not going to happen on my watch because I'm going to keep talking about it. Hello, Queen Sheila Davidson. How you doing, beautiful queen? We're going to continue talking about it, Donnie, whether you like it or not. You the hot topic. You like being in attention, HOE. So we're going to give you what you want, Donnie. Hello, Queen Victorious One. How y'all doing today? Yes, this is Life Under Trump, the Epstein files. Right now, Donald Trump wish he was just in a daydream or wish he was in the bed dreaming all of this instead of being his reality. It is your reality, Donald Trump. You are attached to the Epstein files. And I'm going to talk about it as long as it's something out there to talk about you. I'm going to talk about it. Hello, everyone. I am Queen Lillie. Welcome to my live. Hit the like button as you come in. Everybody hit that like button. If you like to donate to my channel, you can send me super chats and super stickers. And in my description, there's my Venmo. So if you want to send me something using my Venmo, you can as well. Also, my PayPal link is in my description. You can send me a token of love through there as well. So, y'all, it's so many Republicans that are pedos. So many Republicans that are PDF files. What am I talking about? We're going to get right into it. The Republican MAGA party are nothing but a bunch of dangerous, clear men. It said police arrested a Florida Republican city commissioner for soliciting a 13-year-old girl in 2 counts of solicitation of transmission of child porn by electronic device or equipment. Let me show you what I'm talking about. This man right here, he's a MAGA Republican. He too likes the young children in a way they should not be liked. He should not be liking them. Turns out the current regime is filled with pedos and those who protect them. To top it off, MAGAs feel right at home and not bothered at all. MAGA, these are children. You don't have a problem with that. This is your true character. That you're not finding a problem with these clear men taking advantage of 13-year-old children, young minors. Pedos are not cool, MAGA. You're not even cool. Hit that like button as you're coming in. Thank you. So Donald Trump allegedly tied a 13-year-old girl to a bed and raped'd her at Jeffrey Epstein's apartment. And that is from Katie Johnson's horrific story. So this is what the story says, and this is by Perez Hilton. I'm going to show you, and I'm going to read it all to you. Fair use, educational purposes, great for research, and great entertainment. From Perez Hilton. Be sure to subscribe to his YouTube channel, okay? So I'm going to read to you all in his Instagram, because this is from his IG account. It says, why is Donald Trump trying so hard to brush off, ignore, or bury the Epstein files? If he has nothing to hide, why not do a release of everything possible in the government's files? If Trump isn't in those files, why did he choose to betray what his MAGA base wanted and tell them he didn't want their support if they keep pushing for transparency? Because he said that. We've already seen some of the pretty firm reporting that Donald Trump's name is in the files. But more than that, Trump's reaction to being pressed on Epstein has come across like a guy wearing a big guilty sign. Trump is acting like someone who doesn't ever want anyone to see what's in those files. Now, those who have followed the Trump and Epstein scandal closely for all these years probably know most of the Katie Johnson story. But for many, including MAGA, who now feel betrayed by Trump, this may not even have hit your radar. Back in 2016, when it seemed increasingly clear the celebrity apprentice star was going to be the likely Republican nominee, many women came forward with their stories of being SA'd by Donald Trump. Many thought it was convenient. They came out once he ran for president. We just figured they didn't think it was worth the hardship when he was just some reality TV star. But the idea of the abuser being the man in the Oval Office of the United States of America was too horrifying to lie down and do nothing. Anyway, one of those women was Katie. That's the pseudonym she's using today. She tried really hard to keep her name anonymous. And it is hard to imagine why, considering the bombshell she was about to drop on some really scary men. Her first lawsuit, filed without an attorney, had some technical issues, including unverifiable mailing address and sketchy phone number. Was it because it was a hoax, or was it she was trying to protect her identity? And there's nothing wrong with that, protecting your identity from a monster. She filed again later that year with proper lawyers, and details is in a link. So go to his IG. There's a link where you can go read it, which I showed y'all the case here on my channel that was filed against Donald Trump by Katie Johnson and her attorneys. Donald Trump is not a good man. You voted in a monster into the Oval Office, the highest office in the USA. MAGA, you created that monster. Donald Trump wasn't some man that's highly educated, highly worshipped, which he shouldn't be. He was not a man of high standards, of dignity. Why would you vote somebody like that into the Oval Office? Because you have low standards yourself and low IQ as Donald Trump, 73. So, this is something from Kristen Anderson. It just gets worse, y'all. This is a lot. And Anderson alleges Trump put his hand under her skirt and touched her genitals through her underwear. It says age, early 20s, location, China Club. A Manhattan nightclub is where it's supposed to have happened. This is Kristen Allen, a victim of Donald J. Trump. She said he didn't touch my vajayjay. She said he did touch my vajayjay through my underwear. That's what she said. Hold on. This is about his accusers. Hold on. It's plenty of them. I got a whole bunch to show you. Hold on, Jeffro. Hold on. Don't y'all go nowhere. Hold on. I got a lot to show you about your boy. Honey, Donnie shouldn't have been, he should have never been in that Oval Office. But anyway, I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. And I'm going to read some of the victims off to you all. Hit that like button, okay? Hit the like button for me. Come on, y'all. Stop playing in my face. It's hot. My hair sweated out in the heat today when I was out and about. I'm aggravated. I suppose it went live at 5 o'clock. I had to sit in my air conditioner for a while because I was out and about. My hair sweated out and I'm hot and bothered. And I'm in menopause. So y'all know how that is. Hello, everybody in the chat. She said, we don't need the Epstein files. Meet the 24 women who accused Trump of RAPE, and more. I'm going to show you again. I'm going to show you all the 24 women that he has SA'd. He even did it to her, his first wife. She claimed it in a book. So this one is Jessica Lee's. I'm going to show you her, then I'm going to read to you what he did to Jessica Lee's. Donald Trump. So Jessica Lee's, at age 38, location, a first-class cabin of a plane. I heard about this one, yes. This was on a plane. He was like an octopus. His hands were everywhere. Lee's alleges Trump grabbed her boobies, and tried to put his hand up her skirt. I have to say boobies because I can't say the actual word. You know what boobies are. And this is from a source from the New York Times. Second victim, Ivana Trump, 1989. At age 40, location where the incident happened, the master bedroom of Trump Tower triplex. I prefer to this as a RAPE. Those are her words. But I do not want my words to be interpreted in a literal or criminal sense. In a divorce deposition, Trump's first wife's views RAPE to describe an incident that transpired between them after a settlement was reached, and the RAP allegations began public in a 1993 book. Ivana softened the claim. As part of the non-disclosure agreement, she was not allowed to discuss her marriage to Donald Trump without his permission. I would have never agreed to that, not to a monster. Never. Oh, I got more of them for you, more of his victims. Donald Trump got a lot of victims. That's just 24 that's willing to talk. Well, the Ivana is unalive, and she is buried at his golf course in Florida. Have you seen the gravesite? It look a mess. He didn't even give her a good going away. What grass all outgrown over her? Oh my God! Just so he doesn't have to pay taxes, you could claim that's being a gravesite. He did that to his first wife and got married to 2 other women, and did that. Put his wife out there as a gravesite at his golf course. What kind of man is that? A man of no dignity and no shame is Donald J. Trump. So Kristen Anderson, age in her early 20s, location where the incident happened between her and Donald Trump, China Club, a Manhattan nightclub. He did touch my vagina through my underwear, Anderson alleges. Trump put his hand up my skirt and touched my genitals through my underwear. It's believable. And it's the source is the Washington Post. Okay, Jill Hart. Oh, I forgot to show you Kristen Anderson. This is Kristen. Now we're going to move on to Jill Hart. Jill, she said, my early 30s. The location was one of the children's bedroom at the Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate. That man is a dirty old man. He pushed me up against the wall and had his hands all over me and tried to get up my dress again. A former business partner, Hart, alleges Trump forcibly kissed her on her lips and groped her boobies, grabbed her genitals, and in what she referred to in a 1997 lawsuit as an attempted RAPE. On previous occasions, she alleges he groped her under the table during a dinner with colleagues at a Plaza hotel. Hart later dropped the lawsuit after settling with Trump in a separate breach of contract case. So if Trump is not guilty of SAing Jill Hart, why did he settle out with her? MAGA, your king is a monster. Your king is a RAPIST. You know what I mean? RAPIST. He SA'd this woman. Donald Trump, and the source comes from The Guardian. Hart later dropped the lawsuit after settling with Trump in a separate breach of contract case. Donald Trump don't too much settle with somebody. Not too quick. He SA'd her. Here's his other victim, Stacey Williams, from 1993. I'm going to show you Stacey, attractive woman. Donald Trump SA'd her. Age, in her 20s. Location, Trump Towers. That's what Diddy used to do all his dirt too. He pulled me up to him and started groping me. He put his hands all over my boobies, my waist, my butt, and I froze, deeply confused. His hands was moving all over me. The former model spoke to The Guardian about how she met Trump through the late sexual abuser Jeffrey Epstein, whom she was dating at the time. She was dating Jeffrey Epstein, and Donald Trump SA'd her, and has accused the former president of groping and sexual touching her in an incident in Trump Tower, his office and residence complex on New York's Fifth Avenue, in what she believed was a twisted game between the two men. That means the two men, Jeffrey Epstein and Donald Trump. That source is The Guardian. Again, Stacey Williams, beautiful woman. Donald Trump SA'd her too. All right, all right. E. Jean Carroll, she's a superstar, y'all, because she has taken Donald Trump to the bank where he owed her what? I believe it's what, $89 million and over. Donald Trump, this lady got you more than anybody. You're a horrible man, Donnie. You ain't a bad majama. You're a bad person. E. Jean Carroll, I'm going to show you again. We all know her. She made Dunn even more famous. More famous than The Apprentice. So age 52, location Bergdorf Goodman. He kind of bragged about this one, I think. New York City, he leaned down and pulled down my tights, she said. I was pushing him back. It was quite clear I didn't want anything else to happen. A New York jury found Trump actually abused the advice colonists in a New York department store changing room 27 years ago. He was found guilty by a jury, y'all. The verdict in May 2023 for the first time legally branded a former U.S. president as a sexual predator. But as it is, the results of the civil, not criminal case. The only legal sanction Trump faces is financially. Carroll testified in court telling jurors he leaned down and pulled down my tights, she said. I was pushing him back. It was quite clear I did not want anything else to happen. He took advantage of E. Jean Carroll, and she is getting paid. This story is from The Guardian. Yes, The Guardian. Oh, we got another victim, Lisa Bourne, 1996. What did Donald Trump do to Lisa? She was 25 years old, and the location is a New York restaurant. Trump stuck his head right down underneath their skirts. So it had to be more than one person that he did it to, but she's telling her story. Bourne alleges Trump insisted the female models walk around the table, and he looked up their skirts, commenting on whether they were wearing underwear and their genitals. This is the Huffington Post article. Lisa Bourne. Mariah Bilato. I'm going to show you who she is. Donald Trump essayed this queen as well. Age 18. Donnie, oh, you horrible, Donnie. You just getting worse and worse. And I'm going to tell y'all something. I'm going to tell you, a predator doesn't stop. They get worse. So she was only 18. Location, backstage at the 1997 Miss Teen USA pageant. I remember putting on my dress really quick because I was like, oh my God, there's a man in here. Y'all know he used to bust into their dressing rooms. He admitted that. The former Miss Vermont Teen USA in the unnamed accusers alleged Trump walked into the dressing room unannounced while teen beauty queens aged 15 and 19 were naked. Washington Post is the source for that one as well. Next victim, 1997, Temple Tagger, age 21. Attractive woman. Age 21, location where the incident took place when Donald Trump did something she didn't want him to do to her. The 1997 Miss UA pageant event in Trump Tower. He kissed me directly on the lips. I thought, oh my God, gross. He was married to Marla Maples at the time. Remember her? A pretty woman. The former Miss Utah alleged Trump forcibly kissed her on the mouth on 2 occasions, including the first time she met him. Oh, nasty old man. Trump also kissed her on her mouth during a meeting at Trump Tower. She claimed where he recommended that she lie down on her, he recommended that she lied about her age to advance her career. That ain't got nothing to do with you SA and her, Donnie. This is from the New York Times. All right, all right, all right. I got more for y'all, honey, because Donnie is a bad man. He's not an honest man. He's a horrible man. Donnie is a monster sitting in the Oval Office. So her name is Kathy Heller. She's not that attractive, but she probably looked better back in the days. But to Donnie, it doesn't matter. He'll take advantage of a cat, a kitty cat. He liked taking advantage of kitty cat. What else have you taken advantage of, Donnie? Inquiring minds want to know. So Kathy Heller, age 44, the location of Mother's Day brunch at Mar-a-Lago. You do a lot of your dirty work at Mar-a-Lago, don't you? Heller agrees Trump forcibly kissed her on her lips in public at a Mother's Day brunch at Mar-a-Lago when, she said, she met Trump and he immediately kissed her on her lips, fighting her when she pulled away. He was pissed. He couldn't believe a woman would pass up the opportunity, she said. And the source for this is The Guardian. Donnie, you have never been attractive. You're not attractive. You're not Barack Obama, George Clooney. You're not attractive. Those are attractive men. You're very threatened by Barack Obama. The nice body, the nice skin that doesn't age as fast as yours. Oh, that body's so fit, it makes your mouth water, and Donnie mouth waters for Barack Obama too. And you're jealous of Donnie. You jealous, Donnie. You jealous of Barack Obama because he is handsome and you are ugly. You're not ugly. You butt ugly. Okay. 1997, Amy Doris, an attractive woman. Hit that like button. Come on here. Stop playing in my face. Hit the like button. So Amy Doris at age 24, location, U.S. Open. This man gets worse. He just showed his tongue. He just shoved. Oh my God. He just shoved his tongue down my throat, and I was pushing him off. And then that's when his grip became tighter, and his hands were very gropey and all over my butt, my boobs, my back, everything. I was in his grip, and I couldn't get out of it. Donnie's a bad man. The former model accused Trump of sexual assault. That he sexual assaulted her, y'all know what I mean, at the U.S. Open tennis tournament, accosting her outside the bathroom in his VIP box at the event in New York on September 5th, 1997. She spoke to The Guardian in 2020 from her home in Florida and provided evidence to support her account, including I don't know how to say the word. I'm gonna keep moving. Her tickets to the U.S. Open and photos of her sitting next to Trump at the Open. He was 51 at the time and married to his second wife, Marla Maples. You just a cheater and a nasty old man, Donnie. The source is The Guardian. Donnie, you're pitiful and you're nasty. Then you said Kamala Harris was nasty, but you are the epitome of nasty boy. So the next victim is Karina Virginia, beautiful woman, 1998. All right, all right, all right. At age 27, the location where it happened is waiting for a car after the U.S. Open in New York. This man was doing a lot in that opening. Jesus, be a fence and a bouncer. Then his hand touched the right side of my boobs. I was in shock, Virginia alleges. Trump grabbed her arm and touched her boobs. The source is Gloria Albright, press event. Gloria is an attorney, y'all. A powerful attorney. She is a pit bull in a skirt, and I like her. So that concludes our 27 women that Donald Trump SA'd. There's more, but those are the ones that has been publicized. Then that are glad to tell us their story of what Donnie has done to them. Donnie, you are a horrible man. You would never see heaven. I'm going to show y'all something, and it's about who Ghislaine Maxwell is. She should not see the day of light outside of that prison.
Ghislaine Maxwell, privileged daughter of media mogul Robert Maxwell, a ruthless, controlling, and vengeful father whom Ghislaine learned to appease. Robert named his yacht after her and claimed she was his favorite child. That world shattered in 1991 when Robert died under mysterious circumstances. A death that was officially ruled a heart attack and accidental drowning, though many suspect suicide. Soon after, it emerged he had stolen nearly £500 million British pounds from pension funds, destroying his family's fortune and reputation. Overnight, the Maxwell name became synonymous with scandal. Yet Ghislaine
Hit the
fiercely
like
defended her,
button,
insisting her
please.
father was innocent and had been murdered. Amid this personal turmoil, Jeffrey Epstein entered her life. Their bond began as a romance in the early 1990s, but quickly evolved into something far darker. By 1992, Maxwell was managing Epstein's Palm Beach estate and soon took on a greater role, procuring and grooming underage girls for Epstein's abuse. From 1999 to 2007, Epstein funneled over $30 million into her accounts. Even after their romantic relationship ended, Maxwell remained his closest confidant and property manager. Epstein called her his best friend in 2003. Maxwell used her elite connections to men like Bill Clinton, Donald Trump, and Prince Andrew, among others, to introduce Epstein to influential figures in Manhattan, expanding their operations' reach while cultivating public images to conceal their illicit activities. After the abuse was finally discovered and trials began, Epstein was charged with federal sex trafficking offenses and sent to jail, where he allegedly killed himself in 2019. Following his suicide, calls for accountability turned to Maxwell. In 2020, she was arrested at her New Hampshire estate and faced a 20-year sentence and $750,000 fine. During the trial, victims testified that Maxwell was the gatekeeper who opened the door to hell, coaxing girls into exploitation and sometimes participating herself. The judge described her conduct as heinous and predatory, emphasizing Maxwell's pivotal role in enabling Epstein's abuse. In December 2021, she was convicted of recruiting and trafficking 4 teenage girls from 1994 to 2004. Maxwell, who appeared a glamorous figure, hobnobbing with celebrities and sipping champagne with powerful figures, was hiding a grim reality behind her carefully constructed facade. The privileged socialite was actually a co-conspirator in systematic abuse of young women. To this day, Ghislaine Maxwell stands as a stark symbol of corruption entwined with power. As renewed attention falls on the Epstein case, Maxwell's story remains a chilling reminder of how power once shielded the untouchable.
Right now, Donald Trump is considering pardoning Ghislaine Maxwell, a predator, a convicted predator. They have already given her partial immunity. Why? Why, Dunny? This lady is dangerous. She should not be able to be back on the streets of New York, Florida, wherever. She should not be released. Why? To bring harm to more young women?
$1,725 wire transfers, adding up to nearly 1.1.
Why am I showing you this video again? The video I'm going to show you again. It is about Trump made over 4,725 wire transfers to Epstein using Russian banks. Donald Trump is involved in this, I believe, hugely, because he like to say bigly. Well, Donnie, I believe, in my opinion, bigly, that you are involved in this twisted trafficking situation, in my opinion. Again, I'm going to read this to you and I'm going to show you. Trump made over 4,725 wire transfers to Epstein using Russian banks. Why would you do that, Donnie? Is it money laundering? Helping with the trafficking? What was it for, Donnie? That's a lot of wire transfers. You're not innocent in this at all, Donald Trump. All of your children must know their father is a monster.
725 wire transfers, adding up to nearly $1.1 billion flowing in and out of just one of Mr. Epstein's bank accounts. If you ask me, that is more than 4,000 potential lines of investigation right there. The file shows that Mr. Epstein used multiple Russian banks, which are now under sanctions, to process payments related to sex trafficking. A lot of the women and girls he targeted came from Russia, Belarus, Turkey, and elsewhere. 4,725 wire transfers, adding up to nearly $1.1 billion flowing in and out of just one of Mr. Epstein's bank accounts. If you ask me, that is more than 4,000 potential lines of investigation right there.
Why would a man that's supposed to be a man of dignity, most of the time, not all the time, we will at least get somebody with some dignity. I don't even expect Donald Trump to have the dignity that President Joe Biden or President Barack Obama had. They're not on the list. Bill Clinton, it is alleged that he's on it, and I can believe it. I love Bill Clinton. I used to think that was a handsome older man, but I don't doubt he's on that list. Yes, he's a Democrat, but I would not take up for him if he's on that list. No, I would not. Wrong is wrong. But Barack Obama and President Joe Biden, they are not on that list. So it says the numbers don't lie, even if Trump does. Hold on, I'm reading to you what it says. In the original clip, Senator Ron Wales says President 4725 wired transfer flowing in and out of just one of Epstein's bank accounts. This was originally interpreted as Trump sent over 4,000 wire transfers, when in reality, he was addressing presiding officer of the Senate when saying Mr. Trump. Okay. So, when the man who embodies 7 deadly sins, lust, this is Donald Trump I'm talking about, lust, the 7 deadly sins Donald Trump embodies is lust, gluttony, or we can look at it, it's different forms of gluttony, but he definitely loved to eat. Greed, oh, that's Donnie all day long. Sloth, wrath, he loves to let that wrath out on everybody, even if they hadn't done a thing to him. He'll blame everybody for everything that he has done because, honey, President Barack Obama ain't done a thing to you with your ugly self. Envy and pride. That envy and pride is towards President Barack Obama. You envy him, Trump. You envy him because he's a black man and you know he got something in them pants that you don't have. Because, honey, when South Park showed that little wee-wee, boy, we already know before that happened. We can look at you and tell you big and fat and you can't see it. Your stomach's so fat, when you look down, you can't see it. Melania can see it standing in front of you. You might as well have a JJ, Donnie. I'm going to show y'all what I'm talking about. Why would this monster be signing Bibles? Why, monster? Why, monster? It says the 7 sins embodied by Donald Trump, the man that has embodied those 7 deadly sins, is signing Bibles. It means that it is time to reevaluate your religion, MAGA, because you're not a Christian. You're not of God. If you think this man should be signing Bibles, none of us should be signing the Bible. No, none of us. That monster in the Oval Office should not even touch a Bible. You notice when he swore in, he did not touch that Bible. It would have burned. So I have been telling you all, there's nothing Trump will not do. Evil and corruption is all over that man, in my opinion. Hold on, it's on mute. I apologize. I am so sorry. Hold on.
Donald Trump is trying to rig the 2026 election. Yes, I'm serious. The midterm elections, which take place next year, are already being rigged by Trump and the far-right MAGA Republican movement. Trump is working closely with Governor Greg Abbott of Texas to redistrict and gerrymander Texas to create 5 additional potential Republican seats in Texas for the House of Representatives. Now, this is a big deal because Trump and his MAGA fascist movement can tell that they are set for a likely landslide loss in the midterms due to their deeply unpopular and unserious policies like kicking nearly 20 million Americans off of Medicaid, adding nearly $4 trillion to our national debt, they're set for a landslide loss. That's why they're doing everything they can to try and cheat, to try and rig the election by creating new seats to offset whatever potential loss they might experience. This is why Democrats need to stop playing by the rules of yesteryear. They need to start playing ball and play a little dirty. That's why Governor Gavin Newsom of California is talking about redistricting California to try and offset the rig that's going.
It froze. One moment, y'all. Uh-oh.
On in Texas right now. So stay tuned. Pay attention to what's happening in Texas because Donald Trump is already trying to steal another election. Donald Trump is trying to rig the 2026 election.
Donnie, you haven't learned your lesson. Stealing. That is part of the 7 deadly sins. That is against the 10 commandments as well. But that man don't know the Bible. Although he has had Bibles printed up and he's signing Bibles, he doesn't know the Bible. Greed is going to destroy you real soon. We're going to watch you burn from your own mess. You're going to crumble because you're not a good man. You are a man that embodies 7 deadly sins. That's who you are. And when he crumbles, there's going to be a lot on the floor because, y'all, that's a big man. That's a big fat gorilla. Remember, Trump has RAPED SA'd more than 27 women. Remember that, y'all? So I'm gonna read something to you. We had, I think y'all already showed y'all that. I ain't gonna show you that. I didn't realize I saved that twice. I apologize. One moment. Wackadoodle Trump has his panties in a bunch coming for Queen Beyonce. As y'all see, I got on my cowboy quarter t-shirt because I went to see Beyonce here in Atlanta. Yeah. So he has his panties in a bunch coming for our Queen Beyonce. You better sit your maggot fat ass down, Donald Trump. Don't ever come for Beyonce. You smelly, and she would never look your way. What is you mad you couldn't get a woman like her? A woman with dignity. You got a woman that got porn all over the internet. You got a woman that laid up with people. A woman that supposed to have laid up with Jeffrey Epstein, allegedly. But you end up marrying her. You mad you can't have a woman like Beyonce that got out there and got her own money. She didn't need an old, ugly, pale-faced man that's fat and ugly like you, Donald Trump. She went out there and she worked. Beyonce been working since she was a little girl. She started performing at 8 years old. That girl been working up to now. She's 43 years old. She has been working. What has your wife done besides laid on her back to survive in this world, Donald Trump? She don't know what it's like to get out there and have to work. Because she decided, I can't get it the honest way. I'm going to lay down with this ugly MF and marry this pale-faced monkey to get where I got to go. Melania Trump only married you for the money, Donnie. There's no love in your marriage. She won't even stay at the Oval Office with you. She won't even stay at the White House with you. She don't love you. She don't even want you touching her hands. But you want to come for Beyonce. You better go sit your fat, ugly self down. You better go away, Donnie, quick. So this is what I'm talking about, and I'm going to read to y'all the article about it. He's coming for Beyonce. Oh, Donnie, you ugly MFer, you better go away. Trump calls to prosecute Beyonce based on a non-existent $11 million payment. Donnie, you mad because you can't get a Beyonce. You had to sell it for a woman that done the nastiest things of the world and pretend that she's high and mighty and of high standards and lie like she went to college, that she went to a university that she ain't never stepped a foot in. That's what you marry, a whore. I'm going to read this article to y'all from CNN Politics. Donald Trump over the weekend called for prosecution of music superstar Beyonce. Superstar Melania Trump is a hoe. Based on something that did not actually happen, Trump claimed in a social media post that, in my opinion, Melania Trump is a hoe. That's my opinion. If you want to show me different, then show me. But I saw her news all over the Russian news that Vladimir Putin put out that's supposed to be your friend that you bow down to, and you ain't even say anything to him. What he did to your wife, you a punk, Donnie. I'm going to start reading this again for y'all. Donald Trump over the weekend called for the prosecution of music superstar Beyonce based on something that did not actually happen. Trump claimed in social media posts that Beyonce broke the law by supposedly getting paid $11 million for her endorsement of Democratic presidential candidate VP Kamala Harris during the 2024 event in Houston. But there is simply no basis for Trump's claims that Beyonce received $11 million payment related to the Harris campaign, let alone for the endorsement in particular. He is a miserable old man that has a wife that doesn't want him. So he goes after nothing but black, strong people. From Barack Obama, Oprah Winfrey that has more money than him. Beyonce that looks better than his wife. Beyonce has a booty so round his wife's butt is hidden away in a closet. Beyonce is so beautiful. Beautiful. Melania Trump is wrinkled up so bad right now from being with Donald Trump. She was once attractive, but after being married to the Daffy Duck Donald Trump, South Park, little ping man, her beauty has faded away. He wants to come for Beyonce. Donald Trump will do and say whatever to distract us, to try to keep us from talking about the Epstein files. But let me tell you, Donnie, because you talked about Beyonce in such a negative way, I'm going to talk about you every day. Every day, Diaper Dan. Stop trying to distract us from the Epstein files. It won't work. I dare you even speak Beyonce's name. Every time you speak Beyonce's name, your tongue gonna swell. And your throat gonna have thrust all in it. A yeast infection in your throat, Donnie. This is from Forbes.
How did Jeffrey Epstein become so wealthy? There are a few ways that Jeffrey Epstein could have built his wealth. The less interesting possibility is that Epstein's sex crimes were separate from his day job as a financial advisor to billionaires, to whom he offered investment, estate, and tax planning services. The more scandalous scenario, as alleged by many of President Donald Trump's supporters and conspiracy theorists, is that Epstein secretly taped his wealthy friends engaging in sex crimes with trafficked minors in his homes and on his islands, and then blackmailed them, with his financial business serving as cover. The full origins of Epstein's wealth
hit the like button, y'all. Thank you.
It is clear, according to Forbes' review of court filings, an investigative memo, and financial records, is that Epstein relied above all on 2 billionaire clients and a tax gimmick to build his fortune. Between Jeffrey Epstein's collection of lavish homes, 2 private Caribbean islands, and nearly $380 million in cash and investments, he was worth $578 million, according to his estate. Read more at Forbes.com.
That was from Forbes.com. They are discussing Jeffrey Epstein and how he became so wealthy. Was in his worth supposed to have been $600 million at the time of his unaliving, largely due to 2 wealthy billionaire clients as well as generous tax breaks. That is from Forbes. You can find that article on Forbes. So everything this guy is going to say about MAGA, I agree 100% with. MAGA is a cult. Uh-oh, hold on, y'all. I don't know why it's on mute. Hold on.
I literally can't get over how evil and insane this is. That our completely sold out MAGA House Republicans went on recess this week rather than having to vote on the release of the Epstein files. They literally just quit and went home. And every single one of these compromised Trump bootlickers knows that he is in those files and they are protecting him. And you know who's protecting them? You, with your support and with your vote. Y'all who are supposed to be about family values and protecting children, the only person you're protecting is a pedophile. And I have not said this out loud, but it has become so clear to me that MAGA is a satanic cult. And there's just no other.
In my opinion, I agree.
No other movement in the history of this country that has discredited my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ like this MAGA movement.
I agree.
I mean, when the late night talk show hosts, when South Park has the moral upper hand on your movement, you belong to a satanic cult. I literally can't get over how evil and insane this is, that our completely sold out MAGA House Republicans went on recess this week rather than having to vote on the release of the Epstein files. They literally just quit and went home. And every single one of these compromised Trump bootlickers knows that he is in those files. They are protecting him. And you know who's protecting them? You, with your support and with your vote. Y'all who are supposed to be about family values and protecting children, the only person you're protecting is a pedophile. And I have not said this out loud, but it has become so clear to me.
It's very clear to all of us. The MAGA Republican Party, the entire cabinet, are protecting and covering for Donald Trump. Magic Mike Johnson, he sent them home early so they don't have to vote. So what, we won't hear anything to September because of Magic Mike, supposedly the one that gets on Grindr often, looking for black eggplant, decide, well, we're going to protect Donald Trump, the pedo. Trump is such a weirdo. He thinks he's a flex to be hated worldwide. And what am I referring to? Scotland. So he went to Scotland. Do you know how SHITTY it is a leader? You have to be protest by a country you're not even in charge of. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. And I'm going to read it again. Do you know how shitty a leader you have to be protested by a country you're not even in charge of? That is Scotland. They protest Donald Trump. Scotland is already great. Protesters trolled Trump on his golfing trip. And he did something. He cheated at golf while he was there, y'all. It don't surprise me. Donald cheats at everything, from his wives to elections to everything. Let me find out when he was playing golf and he cheated. Hold on. Donnie was playing golf, y'all. This is where he cheated. Pay attention. He had the guy to put the ball down. Watch this. Look at Fat Boy. He has that gun on, apparently, allegedly. Trump cheats at everything. He couldn't be a man of dignity if he wanted to, because all he knows is to still cheat. What the Bible say, KILLING. I don't know if that's him, but that's what the Bible say. That's all he knows to do. Donald Trump is the epitome of the 7 deadly sins. Hold on. We got more, you guys. There's more. So, Trump and Bundy have 100,000 pages of the Epstein documents. So, I'm going to read this to you, but I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. This is from Daily Beast. Hit the like button. Get me to 100, please. This is from Daily Beast. I'm going to take a sip of water. One moment. Y'all, I'm hot. My hair's sweaty. It's swelled because I'm a black woman. When you get out in the heat, oh, God, a mess. So anyway, Trump and Bundy have 100,000 pages of the Epstein files from Daily Beast. A bombshell report has revealed that there are at least 100,000 pages of documents in the Jeffrey Epstein files. The shocking scale of the files will increase pressure on the White House to release more evidence as Donald Trump comes under fire from his own supporters. U.S. Attorney General Pam Bundy has only released 900 pages of the evidence. Girl, you dirty too. Which is less than 1% of the total number of pages in her possession. Many of the declassified documents which were released in March, were already publicly available. I told y'all that. That's how Midas Touch Network, my favorite YouTuber, they got theirs. Bundy and FBI Director Kash Patel, the one that eyes go all over the place and make you dizzy. Bundy and FBI Director Kash Patel ordered hundreds of FBI personnel to be diverted from their regular duties to go through the files, according to New York Times, for months. They worked around the clock and at least 4 exhaustive reviews of the documents, underlining the extent of the panic behind the scenes. Donnie was panicking. The New York Times reports that hundreds of government officials were instructed to review the documents specifically for references to Trump and record them in a database. Remember, there was 1,000 FBI agents that they had to go through the Jeffrey Epstein files to protect Donald J. Trump. Okay, the employees were tasked with recording references to Trump and other celebrities, including Prince Andrew and former President Bill Clinton, in a Microsoft SharePoint collaborative file, raising questions about the project's digital security. If Donnie was not in those files, what's to hide? Why go through all of this? If there's nothing to hide, Donnie, why go through all of this? Because you're guilty, in my opinion. Only a monster that's trying to hide something, a nasty man, would do this. So we have another Republican that I'm going to talk to y'all about. Oh, another nasty man like Trump. Republican who introduced Trump deranged syndrome bill, arrested for soliciting a minor. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about, okay? This is him. He solicited a minor, the Republican MAGA party of perverts. Minnesota State Senator Justin Eichhorn alleged traveled to meet a 17-year-old he thought he met online, but was instead a cop posing as a minor. Get them all, honey, because those Republican men, those clear Republican men, are the most dangerous men in America. Leave the children alone. So Trump and his cabinet are dangerous. Why not meet with the victims instead of the one that trafficked them? It's a huge cover-up for the little trumpet boy, Donnie. What am I talking about? One moment. This is what I'm talking about, and I'm going to read it to you guys. It's a cover-up to protect the man in the Oval Office that's probably 400 pounds at this point, that walks around in a pamper and a girdle, and it's hot outside, playing golf in the heat. You're not meeting with the victims. They're meeting with the trafficker. That tells you everything you need to know. Complicit, corrupt, and disgusting. Again, that tells you what you need to know. Complicit, corrupt, and disgusting is Pam Bundy, Donald Trump, and the MAGA Republican Party. So MAGA is despicable.
Missouri jury has found Baptist church youth leader Timothy Brown guilty of a 12-year-old girl who attended his church. Texas Christian school teacher, say that 5 times fast, and church child care worker Patrick Farmer has been indicted for child crimes. Michigan Baptist
hit
pastor
the like button,
has
please, y'all. Get me to 100.
Of a child under the age 13.
Come on, get me to
North
100.
Carolina Baptist church leader and Christian school coach Mickey McMahon has been arrested on dozens of child charges. West Virginia church youth pastor John Radcliffe and his wife Kathy have both been arrested on charges of children. Michigan evangelical church worship leader and Christian recording artist Zachary Radcliffe, you're telling me that's not jdvance, has been arrested for child crimes. Tennessee church member James Fairchild has been found guilty of taking a 6-year-old little girl into the bathroom of his church and her Texas evangelical megachurch youth pastor Charles Goff has been arrested for possessing videos of little girls being...
These are MAGA Republicans.
Mississippi Baptist Church worship leader Tyler Selby has filed his intent to plead guilty to federal child crime charges. He produced a video that showed him, a child, in a bathtub. I'm honestly starting to wonder if maybe there's something all these people have in common. Surely not.
They wear the red
jury
hat.
has found Baptist Church youth leader Timothy Brown guilty of a 12-year-old girl who attended his church. Texas Christian
They
school
are the
teacher,
red
say
hat
that 5
men.
times fast. And church child care worker Patrick Farmer has been indicted for child crimes. Michigan Baptist pastor Harold.
When I tell you MAGA is dangerous, they're dangerous. They should never be around any children. The likes of a MAGA red hat wearing man should not be around children. I'm serious. They should not. So we're going to do some more covering on Trump goes berserk on Beyonce and Oprah. He decides to target them. I'm going to show you more of that. But before I do, I need more likes, please. Come on, y'all. Get me to 100. I work hard. I didn't go live this weekend because I don't go live on the weekend. But what I did do on my Sunday evening is a lot of research. Come on, get me to 100. Get me to 100. I'm going to give y'all the rest of the goods on Trump. Hit the like button. It's not fair to me that I take my day off and do all this research and y'all don't want to truly support me. Hit the like button, please. Get me to 100 likes. That's only right. Y'all, it's enough for y'all in here, more than enough to get me to 100 likes. Right now, we started off with 600 something, and once it got to like the 40-some minute mark, it went down to 200 and something, almost 300 right now. Hit that like button. Stop playing in my face. Come out them bushes. And y'all come over here. Y'all steal my work after I go do all the work in the research, gathering what I can to bring to y'all on my live. Come out them bushes and hit that like button. Come out them bushes and hit that like button right now. Get me to 100 likes. Come out the bush, hit the like button. Show me love. Show me support. Show me that you appreciate me doing all this research, because I'm giving you stuff that other people don't even give to you. When they talk about Donald Trump, they're not giving you what I give you. I give you what you want and I give you what you need. So respect me as the host that brings you the goods. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to show y'all Trump goes on an unhinged attack. He is attacking Queen Beyonce again and Oprah Winfrey. One moment, please. Just a moment, y'all. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about.
Sunday morning breaks in Scotland. Trump is juggling a heavy schedule of meetings and, of course, as you see here, attending church services.
Hit the like button. Come on.
Every Sunday, the devout Christian that he is. And as the scripture tells us, vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. Last night before church today, Trump opened a can of
Give me
holy
10 more
romance
likes.
on
Come
Oprah
on.
Winfrey, Beyonce Knowles, and Kamalaharris, or as he calls her, Kamala. Well, in a post on Twitter, X, Trump manned up against these intelligent, powerful, and popular black women as only a meandering, nonsensical president who parties with pedophiles can. And that is our featured story today. It's coming right up. Now, mind you, I'm no fan of Oprah. I worked for a long time in TV marketing. Regretfully, I midwiped one of the evil spawns born from her foul syndication spin-off loins. That would be Dr. Oz. Now, his older sibling, he also
Dr.
plays
Oz
a doctor
became
on
MAGA.
TV, and he's Trump's dear friend, Phil McGraw. Now, Oz is in his cabinet.
Dr.
and
Phil
Phil's in his
became
pocket.
MAGA.
Those are Oprah's children. She's the it girl. Remember?
She
What's
birthed
the
them
problem?
It's not something you
with
can
their
even look. There's just an
success.
it. Wouldn't you say, Donald?
That's true, folks. And I will tell you, I went to the Wharton School of Finance, and I will say that
The
I am
Wharton
sitting
School of
next to
Finance, where he
there's
flunked
nobody.
out, but he had a father with money. IQ 73.
As you're about to see, today's breaking story is clearly a Trump manufactured distraction simply because the world is completely focused on this part of his tremendous character.
I mean, this is
Give
where,
me 9 more likes,
MAGA has
y'all.
been
Come on, hit the
hoisted
like
to,
button.
which
Come
is to say that,
on.
yeah, there
Support
are a
the
lot of
host.
people. I mean, a formidable and eye-popping list of people who were around Jeffrey Epstein. Absolutely, and this is absolutely true. But that hardly negates the fact that the person who spent the most time with Jeffrey Epstein Epstein. I mean, more than a decade of constant contact was Donald Trump. So, so this is, I mean, that deflection, look over there, Larry Summers, is going to be difficult. And I think it just kind of brings it actually back to the fact that, yes, these guys spent time with them, and a lot of these people have their reputations and careers have been damaged because of it. But no one has spent as much time as Trump.
Okay, here's today's attention-diverting story and Trump Post. His late day attack on these three badass black women and one frail reverend, or as Newsweek reported earlier, Donald Trump accuses Oprah and Beyonce of breaking the law. President Donald Trump has accused Oprah Winfrey and Beyonce of taking millions of dollars from Democrats during the 2024 election.
Come on, give me more likes, you guys. Thank you.
Trump said that he was looking at the large amount of money owed by the Democrats, claiming that their two A-listers had received $14 million from the
Donald Trump is
them.
deflecting,
Newsweek
distracting.
The White House, along with Kamala Harris's office and spokesperson for Beyonce and Oprah, comment via email. Well, the accusation follows a week of Trump's renewed interest in the Democrats' spending during the 2024 campaign. On Monday, Trump claimed
Come
that
on,
Beyonce
give me
had
5
paid
more
$11
likes,
million
y'all.
to walk onto stage quickly, endorse Kamala, and walk off without doing any kind of musical performance.
I didn't want to play that music, sorry.
Not perform, but I digress. In a post to Truth Social on Saturday evening, Trump said that he would be investigating payments made to Oprah and Beyonce, as well as a smaller payment made
Donald
to
Trump is
Al
trash.
Sharpton. The post reads, "I'm looking at the large amount of money owed by the Democrats after the presidential election and the fact that they admit to paying, probably illegally, $11 million to singer Beyonce for an endorsement. She never sang one note and left the stage to a booing and angry audience.
That's a lie. I was there, baby. I attended this. He is lying on Beyonce. I was there.
Al Sharpton, a total lightweight, and others to be named for doing absolutely nothing. These ridiculous fees were incorrectly stated in the books and records. You are not allowed to pay for an endorsement. It is totally illegal to do so. Can you imagine what would happen if politicians started paying for
Ellen, how you doing?
All hell would break out. Kamala and all those that received endorsements and money broke the law. They should be prosecuted.
Hello, Queen. ASMR Creative. How you doing, Queen?
$11 million payment from the Harris campaign to Beyonce. Trump did not cite.
I need 4 more likes. Come on, y'all. Hit that like button. Come on.
Figure came from. Hey, accurate numbers aren't his strong suit.
It'll be numbers that nobody can even imagine. We're going to get the drug prices down, not 30 or 40%, which would be great, not 50 or 60. No, we're going to get them down 1,000%, 600%, 500%, 1,500%.
Now I remember where I heard that kind of economic eloquence once before. I'm going to share that at the end of this, but let's get back to
Beyonce
the story.
does not love Diddy. She loves her husband, Jay-Z. Stop with y'all lies.
Entertainment that Beyonce founded in 2008. The payment was made on November 19th, weeks after Beyonce endorsed Harris at a rally in Houston. Beyonce said at a campaign rally for then Vice President Kamala Harris in October, "I'm not here as a celebrity. I'm not here as a politician. I'm here as a mother who cares deeply about the world my children and all of our children live in, a world where we have the freedom to control our bodies, a world where we are not divided." So what happens next? Well, the White House has not yet confirmed if it will be pursuing any legal action
Beyonce should sue Donald Trump.
Or the Harris campaign.
And Obama should sue him too.
Out of thin air. And passes them off, as economic acumen. $11 million. There's no record. No matter, right? I'll just make it up as I go. Kind of like this.
We're going to get them down 1,000%, 600%, 500%, 1,500%.
1,500%. So now the big farm companies, they're going to be paying you to take their meds. It's made up math. But now I know where I've heard this before. I know he went to the Wharton School of Business. But apparently, so did this guy. And they clearly must have matriculated through the same economics class.
17%, 19%, 12%, 8%.
8%, 16%, 12, 9, 8, 2, 4, 5, 6, 3. Sound off.
Oh, Donald Trump wears me down, y'all, but he would not defeat me because I'm going to get on here every day. I'm going to talk about you and Epstein until you go away. I don't like Donald Trump, and I'm going to talk about you till you go away. You said out of your own mouth, you big fat weasel, that the election was rigged. You said it, Donnie. I don't like a thief. So comedy is good for your soul. Trump is a joke. What am I talking about? Well, Donald Trump is a bad father. Listen to this comedian.
I don't get is how Donald Trump managed to win the presidency twice, but he is incapable of fathering a child that isn't butt-ass ugly. He had 5 chances to do that with 3 different women.
Donnie is ugly, so I expect it to happen.
And if you're sitting there like, well, Ivanka's pretty. No.
She had surgery on her nose.
She's not. Just think of who she's always standing next to. Her uglier siblings. Barron was kind of his last hope at a cute kid, but he is 6'7". He's balding and 6'7". So Republicans want to deport illegal aliens, but they're fine having a mutant live in the White House. And he's 18, I checked. So I can call him ugly. He's an adult. It's just an adult calling another adult ugly. It's kind of all we can do. But what I don't get is how Donald Trump managed to win the presidency twice, but he is incapable of fathering a child that isn't butt-ass ugly.
Well, sister, queen, honey, girl, Donnie is not attractive. So what do we expect his children to look like? Y'all, my hair is sweaty because I've been out in the heat today. And it's puffy. I'm a black gal. Donnie is not attractive. So we're not going to get too much of an attracted children from him. Ivanka is cute, and she was cute as a child, but you can kind of see the father in her a little bit. You see her father looks a little bit in her, but she's not ugly to me. I think she's attractive. She did have something done to that nose, and she used to have fat under her neck that's no longer there. She was a slim girl with fat under her neck, so that's gone. But I don't think she's ugly. But Donnie makes ugly children. Yes, look at those boys. They look like vampires. So Trump has always been a sick in the head 2-year-old. He never left dead Mary's breast, his mom. He's a nipple baby at 79, and he's smelly. One moment.
I just want to confirm, it's your testimony that E. Jean Carroll said that she loved.
Listen to the sick man.
Well, based on her interview with Anderson Cooper.
Listen to him.
That's what she said I did to her. She fainted with great emotion. She actually indicated that she loved it. Okay, she loved it.
He S.A.'d this woman.
Break. In fact, I think she said it was sexy, didn't she? It was very sexy to be. Didn't she say that?
Y'all, Trump is sick, but y'all knew that, and you voted this monster back in the Oval Office. You all knew the first go around that Donald Trump is a sick individual. And what did MAGA do? They voted him back in the office again after hearing how nasty Donald Trump is. Isn't that what he called women, especially black women, nasty? So this is interesting. This is interesting. Hold on.
So that billionaire that trafficked me really is the reason you can't pay your rent, buy a house, or pay your mortgage. I just wanted to follow that up with what I said earlier this week. I absolutely stand on 100%. And the man who trafficked me is the reason. His family collectively is the reason that you cannot afford housing. So if you're not already on board with our case, our story, I filed a federal case against all 27 of them, including the billionaire, which I made a post about that got 4.1 million views. Dog's barking. So anyway, go check that out. But thank you so much. He really is the reason. So if you're not following me, I was trafficked to a billionaire, and love your support. Hey, so that billionaire.
I'm gonna gather more info on that situation. Yeah.
Hey, so that
I'm gonna
that
get more information on that.
You can't pay your rent, buy a house, or pay your mortgage. I just wanted.
Hold on. So her name is Julia. It is me again. Follow me, please. It is our movement, steady moving forward, but I still need your help. She was trafficked by a billionaire. I want y'all to subscribe to and follow on Instagram, Julia Hub. You're going to learn a lot over there. A lot. How she's entangled with all of this stuff. Okay, hold on. It's on mute. I did not hit mute. Hold on.
Comparing some similarities and differences between Matt Gaetz and Donald Trump is fascinating. Gaetz is accused of having sex with minors. Trump is accused of having sex with minors. Gaetz is accused of paying for sex. Trump paid for sex and tried to hide it. Gaetz denied allegations about him and young girls. Trump bragged about watching young girls undress without their consent. Gaetz is accused of sexual abuse. Trump owes E. Jean Carroll almost $89 million for his sexual abuse and lying
defamation.
about it. Republicans blocked Gaetz from becoming Attorney General. Republicans blocked us from finding out more about the Epstein case, which includes Donald Trump. Gaetz essentially got booted from Washington and went home to Florida. Hopefully, someday, this felon should get booted from Washington and go home to Florida, or better yet, to jail. Do you agree? Comparing
I agree.
Similarities and differences between
they are
Matt
two
Gaetz and Donald
people
Trump
that
is
essayed women. Two people that essayed women. That's what they are. That MAGA, the MAGA Republican, the clear man, just a nasty piece of work. Just nasty. So karma is it karma or anyone who attaches themselves to Trump are destroyed? Listen to this. Anybody that attached themselves to Donald Trump always be destroyed.
This is not the craziest story you hear today. The owner of Trump Burger, he went into business, I guess, with a friend or an associate to open up Trump Burger. It's this restaurant here. The two owners get into a business dispute. They take it to the courthouse all the way up. The dude suing the other owner of Trump Burger, he can't show up to the hearing because he's in ICE detention. Before the case could really, complete and maybe he would get his ownership back, he somehow ends up in ICE detention with his green card revoked. They took throwing somebody under the bus to a whole other level. He really threw his ass at alligator Alcatraz. You want to talk about cutthroat business? Tell me this is not the craziest story you hear today.
So, dude owns a restaurant and he named it after Trump. Trump Burger. But now he's inside of alligator Alcatraz. It can't get no worse than that, y'all. See, brown people, next time black people tell you something, listen. Listen, Linda, listen. Seriously, listen. Black people, we're not telling y'all anything wrong. We're telling you right. Donald Trump is not for America. Get it in your thick brains. You're a brown person. Open up a restaurant. Named it after a man that don't even like your complexion. Now you sitting in alligator Alcatraz. If y'all brown people don't get your SHIT stuff together, we're going to turn our backs on you because we're tired. Black women are tired. Most of them ain't even trying to help you anymore because you won't listen. Listen, please. We love you. This woman right here, she right. Listen carefully what she's about to say. She ain't leading us wrong.
Not buying this Epstein bullshit, right? That Pam Bondi's actually going to go after anyone she might find from talking to Ghislaine Maxwell. I was a madam for 5 years. My client list is over 10,000 names. I was also indicted in a secret grand jury testimony, and the government certainly talked to me. They wanted my list, but they wanted Jeffrey Epstein was arrested in 2019. Trump was president. You're going to tell me nobody talked to him then for the whole year that Trump was still president? Ghislaine Maxwell was arrested in 2020. You're going to tell me nobody talked to her? Trump was still president. But now they want you to believe they care. They don't care. This is political posturing. They only care because you've made so much noise and you've made this an issue, and they're hoping that they can make some media moves so that
Hello,
you'll shut
King
up.
Derek.
You're not buying this Epstein bullshit, right? That Pam Bondi's actually going to go after anyone she might find from talking to Ghislaine Maxwell. I was a madam for 5 years. My client list is over 10,000 names. I was also indicted in a secret grand jury testimony, and the government certainly talked to me. They wanted my list, but they wanted it so that they could...
The list is real. Don't let Trump keep telling y'all that it's a hoax. If it was, he would not have sent his attorney and paid for an attorney for Ghislaine Maxwell. They wouldn't have went to meet her if it was not real. And as I stated earlier, Bundy and Trump has 100 pages to the Epstein files. But they only release 900 pages. That's 1%. They're playing in the American people's face, and we will not accept it. Trump is a loose cannon. Listen carefully.
A trigger warning here, but not sure which one to mention specifically.
Hit the like button, please. Thank you.
Author Michael Wolff, who wrote several books on Donald Trump and spent thousands of hours with Jeffrey Epstein, fully aware of the risk involved, he's going public with a very disturbing story.
And when Marla Maples came to Donald Trump and said she was pregnant, he panicked. And he went to his friend Epstein and said, what am I going to do? She said she's pregnant and she's going to have the baby. I'm going to have to marry her.
This was back in the day when people had to at least pretend to be honorable.
She's lying to you. She's just trying to get you to marry her. And then they went through a long discussion about how he could figure out if this was a lie. But in fact, he ultimately went to the doctor with Marla Maples, and indeed she was pregnant.
Listen carefully.
Putting him into a bigger panic. And he went back to Epstein and says, "Now what do I do?" And Trump said, "What if I pushed her down the stairs?" And Epstein said, "Well, you could murder her, and then you would go to jail."
Yeah, would he have though?
That happened to his first wife.
Or perhaps
but
worse,
we don't know if Donnie pushed her down the stairs. We don't know who pushed her down the stairs.
That would be something she could testify to in court.
So Donald Trump had a problematic woman in his life, and the solution, he thought, was to push her down the stairs. Allegedly. I wonder if Marla Maples would have ended up in the golf course. And I'm just going to leave this right here.
Because Ivana Trump ended up at the golf course, buried there.
God, I can't do it.
I don't put anything past Donald Trump. Nothing. He's a monster. We can't trust him. He should have never been put in that Oval Office. Why put a 2-year-old in the Oval Office wearing a diaper? Think playing with America. He thinks America's a toy, so he's playing with our lives. Why would you put a man in the Oval Office that is this dangerous? One moment, please. I'm going to show y'all something, then we're going to be getting out of here. It says, worse than we ever thought. Melania outed as Epstein girl as Trump deadly act exposed. I heard that before too, that Melania was actually Epstein's girl first. And she's a pass around. And you want to talk about Beyonce? Daddy, don't you ever fix your lips and say Beyonce name ever again. Don't you ever say Beyonce name again.
Donald Trump fantasized about killing his wife, and the way he fantasized about killing her is the way that she died. This is according to Michael Wolff, who has a story about him explaining the way that he'd like to kill his wife to Jeffrey Epstein. Insane stuff. It's insane. And then I had the report on how she actually did die. And we're also learning, too, that Melania Trump is very involved in the Epstein scandal. Now, Melania Trump has been largely avoiding any of the controversy, but that might not last long. And let's make sure of it. Here is what Michael Wolff, that author, has to say about Melania's involvement with with Epstein.
Melania is nowhere to be seen. Ivanka is nowhere to be seen. This must be a horrifying story for them.
Okay, well, 2 points. She never is by his side. You know, all of those courtroom appearances, did she show up once? You know, I report in my book that one of the aides approached her and she said, "Nice try," and then laughed. But
that's not a woman that loves her husband.
Probably for further food, you know, she was very involved in this Epstein relationship. I mean, there is this model thing, but you know, and Epstein talks about, you know, and she's introduced by a model agent, both of whom Trump and Epstein are involved with. She's introduced to Trump that way. Epstein knows her well. Epstein says the first time Donald Trump and Melania have sex is on his airplane.
One thing I've always wondered, and this is all speculation, of course, but I've always wondered, was Melania one of the Epstein girls? Like, was she one of the people in the ring? And then
hit the like button,
Trump
please. Thank you.
That's always something I've wondered. Like, if she wasn't obviously like a Ghislaine mastermind bringing girls into the system, but was she one of the girls?
So this is another complicated dimension in this. Where does she fit into the Epstein story? Where does she fit into this whole culture of models of indeterminate age?
Yeah, well, I think that is the question, isn't it? That Melania Trump has avoided scrutiny, but that is how they met. And that's something that's not discussed enough. And what did Melania know? When did she know it? I think we should be starting to ask those questions. Now, that same biographer, Michael Wolff, who has just been going on a tear lately, also said that Donald Trump, when speaking to Epstein, fantasized about killing his then wife, Ivana Trump. And this is very graphic, so just be aware of that. But I want to play this for you because it's important that we know what is being said. And then I have reporting on how she actually did pass.
Well, to reply, CNN has uncovered video of Jeffrey Epstein at Donald Trump's 1993 wedding to Marla Maples. I have a backstory about that because Epstein and Trump at this period, the closest of friends, and when Marla Maples came to Donald Trump and said she was pregnant, he panicked and he went to his friend Epstein and said, "What am I going to do? She says she's pregnant and she's going to have the baby. I'm going to have to marry her." I mean, I think it's important to note how much these guys lived in another time. I mean, this is a conversation that could have taken place. Such conversations did take place in the 1950s.
I also want to point out too that Donald Trump was confiding in Epstein. The only reason why Epstein knows this is because Donald Trump told him, and this is not something you tell an acquaintance, right? This is something you tell someone that you know very well and very intimately.
And Epstein said, continuing this in the 1950s vein, "She's lying to you. She's just trying to get you to marry her." And then they went through a long discussion about how he could figure out if this was a lie. But in fact, he ultimately went to the doctor with Marla Maples, and indeed she was pregnant, putting him into a bigger panic. He went back to Epstein and says, "Now what do I do?" And Trump said, "What if I pushed her down the stairs?" And Epstein said, "Well, you could murder her and then you would go to jail. Or perhaps even worse, nothing would happen. But you would have pushed her down the stairs, and when the divorce happens, that would be something she could testify to in court." As I say, grim. And just let me add that one of Donald Trump's main political tropes is always the American flag, to such an extent that it is as though he owns the American flag. So let's just take it back.
Okay, a little unnecessary commentary on the flag there when talking about Donald Trump potentially murdering his wife, but yes, we should take the flag. It's why it's behind me. But regardless, that is a very interesting story, very kind of disturbing story, but more so because Ivana Trump died 3 years ago, almost 3 years ago exactly. And here's what happened. Ivana Trump was found unconscious and unresponsive at the bottom of her stairs in her apartment, according to police sources. The police were investigating whether she fell, and if so, whether the fall contributed to any way to her death, sources said. On Friday, the medical examiner said her cause of death was blunt impact injuries to the torso, sustained as the result of a fall. The manner of death is an accident is not suspicious to the medical examiner. We have 20, 30, 40 years ago, 30 years ago, Donald Trump hypothesizing, pushing Ivana Trump down the stairs, and then, wouldn't you know it, before all this happens, that's exactly how this woman passed. I'm not saying anything.
How ironic, Donnie. You discuss pushing her down the stairs, and that's exactly how she went out from this earth. Then you take her body and bury her at your golf course while being married to Melania Trump. This is like a Lifetime movie. Donald Trump loves being a reality star, but he should be a Lifetime. But the true story of Donald Trump, not something to make him look good because he's not a good man, but the truth, the real reality of Donald Trump needs to be told. We're going to continue with this tomorrow, y'all. It's so much that I think I'm going to show y'all something else. Hold on. Don't go nowhere. Stay with me.
Trump avoids talking about Epstein. Turns out it might all come down to Melania. He keeps blocking any discussion of those Epstein files and refuses to give clear answers
His
about
wife
it. Most
is
people think
something
it's
else.
because he was close with Epstein back in the day. But what if the real reason is his wife? On the surface, Melania seems totally unrelated to Epstein, but her life might be more connected to him than we thought. In 1996, she came to the US on what's called the Einstein visa. It's supposed to be for people with extraordinary talent. But here's the thing. As a model, Melania didn't have a standout career. No major runway shows, no big contracts. No one in the industry even remembers working with her. Her entire modeling history
She was
in her
never
20s
a
is practically a
supermodel.
black hole. And there's more. In an old interview, someone asked her what she was doing in the early 90s. She looked nervous, avoided the question, and just said, "I forget." Later on, we're told Melania met Trump through her modeling agent. But guess who later claimed he made the introduction? Yep, Jeffrey Epstein himself. And get this, Melania was allegedly already connected to Ghislaine Maxwell, Epstein's ex and partner in crime. It's hard to believe there weren't some hidden ties there. So maybe Trump and Melania's love story isn't quite as fairy tale as they want us to think. Maybe there's a darker past they've worked hard to bury, and that's why Trump wants the Epstein to disappear. No wonder Trump avoids talking about Epstein. Turns out it might all come down to Melania. He keeps blocking
Melania Trump, the one with the news all over the internet, he doesn't want us talking about the Epstein because of her. Oh, it's more to it than that, but that's part of it.
If you thought the Epstein files were bad, wait until you hear this. 21 children were just rescued from a $4 million mansion in California. Not from a cartel, not overseas, but right here in the sunny California. The couple behind it, Sylvia Zhang and Guhan Sheng. They were running what looks like a surrogate agency, but is now being investigated as a potential child trafficking operation. One surrogate, Kayla Elliott, said, "I was told that they already had a child and they just wanted one more. I didn't know that they had owned an agency. I didn't know about the other babies." So she said, turns out they used surrogates across the country, Texas and Florida and more, to have babies for them, and they kept all the children. Inside that mansion, the FBI found 21 kids, one with a brain trauma, cameras, nannies of babies, birth certificates were falsified to list Zhang as the mother over and over again. This isn't just disturbing, it's an organization, and it's hidden in plain sight, just like the Epstein files. But this time, it's babies. The question nobody wants to answer is, who were these children really for? Trafficking doesn't always wear a mask. Sometimes it wears a business suit. If you thought the Epstein files were bad, wait until you hear this. 21 children.
Y'all remember I was telling y'all about traffickers? That they can be the doctors, the lawyers, the judge. Traffickers ain't always the hillbillies like the ones in Alabama that was trafficking people. It's not always that way, y'all. It's not.
Beyond the grave, she is still trying to expose the truth. Virginia Giuffre, the most well-known of Jeffrey Epstein's victims, kept a handwritten diary in the final months of her life. And now, after her mysterious death in April, her family has released it. And what's in there? It blows the FBI and DOJ's narrative completely apart. She wrote that Epstein had hidden cameras everywhere and that she saw them herself. She said the FBI has that footage. She claimed those videos showed her being abused by powerful men and that they were used for blackmail. Now remember, the DOJ just issued a statement about a week or so ago saying there's no credible evidence that Epstein blackmailed anyone. But Guffrey's own words say otherwise, and it gets darker from there. There's a former sheriff deputy, John Mark Dugan, who says he too has those tapes. He was asked to safeguard them. Then in 2016, the FBI raided his computers and took it all. So if he's telling the truth, that means the FBI has had these tapes for nearly a decade, and yet here we are being told that they don't even exist. So what's going on? A dead woman left a diary to make sure the truth got told. And the government seems more interested in keeping secrets.
We cannot trust our own government.
So I want you to ask yourself something. Who are they protecting? Who are the predators? Why, with all of these people, all of these men, is only a woman, one woman, serving any time for any of this? This Epstein stuff is not going away. I will continue to cover it. Make sure that follow button if you don't already, and drop your thoughts in the comments to the answers to those questions. From beyond the grave, she is still trying to expose the truth.
That's Virginia, the victim.
Well-known of Jeffrey Epstein's victims, kept a handwritten diary in the final months of her life.
Hold on, one moment. Hello, King Ralph Perry. How you doing? Thank you for the super chat. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you. Hold on. Let me see what else I have to show y'all.
Hunted 20,000 children in the middle of New York City.
That's spooky. I'm not listening to that. I didn't realize that man was using a thing of his voice. I can't listen to that. That's a little too spooky for me. Okay, I'm gonna play this and we're gonna be getting out of here. This is a former MAGA. He's no longer MAGA. Listen to what he has to say.
This is a former Republican, former MAGA. If you're a Republican and you are MAGA, you need to leave the party now, okay? Because your party just became the party that protects PDF files. And that's not hyperbolic. Here is my proof. Speaker Johnson has sent the House home for August recess. It's July 22nd.
It's worse than that. It's worse than that. So this creator, who is a former MAGA, is saying that if you are still in the cult of MAGA, you need to leave now. If you continue to align yourself with this party, you are now a part of a party that is actively supporting child molesters, child traffickers, child rapists. I mean, the political right in this country has a long history of protecting child predators. There is a Google Doc. If you are watching this on YouTube, I will link to it in the video description. From an activist, you can also find their account here on Blue Sky. It's got more than 1,300 names of people on the political right, activists, politicians, etc., who have been convicted or accused of being sexual predators. I'll probably talk about this in the next video, but we have another one today, Jason Yates, who's the CEO of My Faith Votes. He was a big Republican get out the vote guy. Yeah, he pled guilty to child porn possession. But specifically, I want to get back to this initial creator. So he's saying that Mike Johnson decided to put the House on recess early in July. Go ahead and start your August recess in July. And that way we don't ever get to vote on the issues around Ghislaine Maxwell and the Epstein files. I completely agree with this creator, whether or not Trump is in those files. You know that there is information in there that the American public deserves to know. We know that there's information in there that will help victims of Epstein and all of his friends that he partied with get justice. Why would you delay releasing that? It doesn't matter if Trump isn't in there. That act of delaying, that act of trying to do whatever you can to not release that information, you are protecting child predators. You are protecting human traffickers. Mike Johnson is protecting child predators. It doesn't matter if Trump is one of them or not. I absolutely agree with this creator. If you are still aligned with the Republican Party, if you are still MAGA, not only are you supporting a fascist party and all of the horrible things that they are doing in this country, carrying out an ethnic cleansing, destroying our economy, stripping 17 million people of their health care by gutting Medicaid, you are funneling working class people's tax dollars straight into the pockets of billionaires. If none of that was a bridge too far for you, if none of that was a red line, then supporting a party that actively protects child predators should be. After all, y'all are the folks who said we need justice for Epstein's victims. So many of y'all voted for Trump because he promised you he would release the Epstein files, he would expose the deep state, and that the people who preyed on little children, little girls as young as 12, 13 years old would face justice. So the only reason, Mike, I have to text my son every time I jerk off Johnson, would delay having a vote, would delay releasing that information is because he is protecting child predators. I mean, speaking of helping child predators.
Would you consider a pardon or a commutation for Ghislaine Maxwell? It's something I haven't thought about. It's really something I'm allowed to do. It's something I have not thought of.
Except we know now he is thinking about it. We know his Department of Justice is thinking about it. We know that they're having talks with Ghislaine Maxwell. They're talking about commuting her sentence or pardoning her. A woman who was convicted and is serving 20 years for her role in procuring and abusing children with Jeffrey Epstein and his friends. If you still support Donald Trump, you are supporting a man, you are supporting a regime that wants to pardon people who are convicted sexual predators. I mean, let's not forget that some of the January 6th insurrectionists that Donald Trump pardoned had criminal records for things like sexual abuse of a minor, production of child sexual abuse material, and rape. So Trump already has a history of pardoning sexual predators, including kid diddlers. But I actually stumbled upon this clip, I think it's from 2020, where Trump said some interesting things about Ghislaine Maxwell. And it seems very relevant to share it now.
Mr. President, Ghislaine Maxwell has been arrested on allegations of child sex trafficking. Why would you wish such a person well?
I don't know that, but I do know that
She has. She's been arrested for that.
He's never going to tell the truth.
Epstein was either killed or committed suicide in jail. She's now in jail. Yeah, I wish you well. I'd wish you well. I'd wish a lot of people well. Good luck. Let them prove somebody was guilty. I mean, do you know that
she was proven guilty by a jury.
Died in jail, and people still trying to figure out how did it happen? Was it suicide? Was he killed? And I do wish you well. I'm not looking for anything bad for her.
Oh, Lindsey Graham, he doesn't have a problem with it. Oh, fancy pants with the pink thongs on, doesn't have a problem with it.
He died in jail.
Now, let's be clear, Donald Trump was president when Jeffrey Epstein died in prison. Despite the fact that a year before this interview, Trump was making claims on Twitter that Jeffrey Epstein's death might have been at the hands of Bill and Hillary Clinton.
That's a lie.
Tweets and using the hashtag Clinton body count. When
he blamed everybody. So anytime he blaming somebody, it's him.
That was during the Trump administration. So why wasn't there a thorough investigation into Epstein's death? Why was all of that sealed? Trump, during his first term, could have cracked this wide open, but he didn't. And also, interestingly, he kept referring to Jeffrey Epstein as Ghislaine's boyfriend, even though Epstein said that he and Trump were the closest of friends. And like, what the fuck do you mean I wish her well? She's a child sex trafficker. So let's be clear, if you are choosing to continue to align yourself with MAGA, you are saying, I support a party whose Department of Justice is carrying out a cover-up. They are lying to the American people. They have told us that there's nothing more to investigate. They don't need to release any more of the files. They are looking into pardoning Ghislaine Maxwell, convicted child sex trafficker. If she comes forward and says, oh yeah, I know what's on the list. It's the Clintons and Donald Trump's definitely not on it. And they'll say, oh, that's proof then we don't have to release the list. We have the word of Ghislaine Maxwell who, we got her testimony in exchange for a pardon or a commutation or whatever they're going to do. You are now supporting a party that is actively suppressing the release of information that will get justice for the victims of Jeffrey Epstein and his friends. You are
because they insist on helping the traffickers. The victims are speaking out, and they must continue to speak out. Don't go into the closet and cry and don't speak out. We all got to fight this battle for the victims. Everybody needs to speak up, contact your senators, local offices. You need to do your part, all of us. We cannot stand by and continue to allow them to abuse others. We can't. We have to put a stop to them. We must.
Oh, you thought Project 2025 was scary.
I'm not going to show that because that's not important right now. Hold on. We're going to focus on what's important.
Today, her lawyer confirmed that she is in talks with Trump's Department of Justice. To recap, Speaker of the House Mike Johnson sent everybody home so that they cannot vote to release the Epstein files. The same day, we find out that Donald Trump,
can y'all hear it?
Lawyer, who is now the #2 person at the Department of Justice, is meeting with Ghislaine Maxwell. Then we get this hostage note from Ghislaine Maxwell's lawyer praising President Trump for his honesty. And to top it all off, when a reporter asked President Trump today if he knew anything about this meeting, he's like, I don't know anything about Todd Blanche meeting Ghislaine Maxwell. No, I don't know anything about that, but you should be focusing on Barack Hussein Obama committing treason. Donald Trump has certain tells, and one of those tells is whenever he starts bringing up Barack Hussein Obama, he's desperate to get you to change the subject. They are obviously dangling a pardon or a sentence commutation in exchange for Ghislaine Maxwell exonerating President Trump and possibly implicating a bunch of Democrats. Ghislaine Maxwell is very, very wealthy. She doesn't do well in prison. She will say or do anything to get sprung loose and stay alive.
Hit the like button, you guys. Come on, hit the like button. Hit that like button. Yo, let me tell you something. Sometimes when you hit the like button, it can unlike. So go back and check your likes because it was at 118. Now it's back down to 117. Hit that like button, y'all. Come on, don't do me like that. I worked too hard to bring this goods to you. I worked too hard. Let's see what this is about.
Damn, Jeffrey Epstein just won't die, and neither will the story or the controversy surrounding what happened. Ghislaine Maxwell, his accomplice and Madam of the House, does she get off scot-free?
Come on, give me another like, y'all. Then I have 120. Come on.
No. Her conviction was obtained through evidence of at least 4 victims, including flight logs. I personally find it very suspicious that they couldn't derive names or clients from those flight logs, but hey, who am I? I'm just a regular guy. So, Ghislaine Maxwell was convicted of aiding and abetting these crimes and of a systematic pattern of grooming and abuse of underage women. They don't need the client list to convict her of those things.
He's right. They don't need the client list. Donald Trump and Pam Bundy has it. Again, remember she said the client list was on her desk. And I read to you all that her and Donald Trump have 100,000 pages. But they only released 900 pages. That's 1%. They're playing in our face. They think the American people are stupid. They think we're dumb. They think that everybody is MAGA. Everybody is not MAGA, Donald Trump. We don't want to be down there smelling your pissy depends. No, we don't. We're not falling for the banana in the tailpipe, Donald Trump. Although this Georgia heat is getting to me, I'm not stupid enough to fall for the banana in the tailpipe. Donald Trump is a convicted felon. He's a man that has 34 felonies. E. Jean Carroll got him for essay. The jury found him guilty. And in civil court, he owes her $89 million. She even went back and got him for defamation because he just wouldn't shut them D suckers up. He kept running them D suckers talking about her and everybody else. And Letitia James ain't going to stand for that, Donnie. We're not going to be happy. The American people are not going to be happy until you're out of the Oval Office, because you never deserved to have been there from day one. From your first term, you didn't deserve to be there. Now is your second term. You ain't been in office not even quite 6 months. And you have managed to destroy America less than 6 months. You overturned great policies. You brought in new policies that destroyed this country. You came here with those messy tariffs that you wear on your lips like it's red lipstick. You have done everything to hurt the American people. And because of that, it is our American duty to continue discussing the Epstein files until everything is released, not the redacted version. Because our girl, Summer, Congresswoman Summer Lee, Queen Summer Lee, as she stated, we do not want the redacted version, Pam Bundy and Donald J. Trump. That's not what she asked for. Hey, are y'all still there? Are y'all still there? Typing the thing if you're still here. Because my phone died. I am so sorry. Are y'all still here? Oh God, I am so sorry, y'all. My phone died. But I will see y'all tomorrow. I did not know my phone was gonna die. I will see y'all tomorrow. We got more to cover. We're not giving up. We're going to continue talking about the Epstein files. My phone, I did not know it was going to die. I apologize. And I want y'all to know I love you. I am so sorry. I did not know my phone was going to die. I am so sorry, y'all. I love y'all guys. Thank y'all for hanging in there with me. My phone died, and I don't normally let that happen because this is the thing. Yeah, I charged my phone once I got home from being out handling things today. I came in and charged my phone, so I can't believe it just died like that. But I will see you guys tomorrow at 5. Don't give up on me. It wasn't done intentionally. I just didn't realize that my phone was going to die because I charged it once I got home today. But I will definitely be on live tomorrow. I love y'all. Y'all, it means so much that y'all come on here and support me. Hit that like button before you leave out. Again, I will see you tomorrow. I love you. I love you. I love y'all. Y'all don't know how much y'all mean to me. And all of y'all that's coming back in, that hung in there, I am so sorry. I apologize for that. But I'm going to make sure it is fully charged tomorrow. Okay? So, when y'all get a chance, check out my shorts. Hit the like button. Support me because the more likes I get, they put me more in the algorithm. And it also helps me with my monetization. So hit that like button, you guys. And whenever you can, donate to my channel through Super Chat, Super Stickers. And my description is my Venmo and my PayPal link if you can. I love you guys with all of my heart. Hang in there with me. Bear with me. Don't get discouraged. Don't. I love you. Enjoy this evening. Eat well. Drink plenty of water. Say your prayers and pray for me as I'm praying for you. And I love you. Bye, y'all.